So thank you very much for joining me online today. Today is part 2 of the LeadSquared system training for real estate. In our first session, just to recap, I showed you how to create an email signature inside your LeadSquared profile, and we worked quite extensively in the leads section of LeadSquared. So we covered a couple of things around how to search for leads. So we looked at the quick search, we did an advanced search, and we ended off by taking a look at how to build a list. So I want to start off where we left off in the last session, just to recap for you. So let me just log into LeadSquared quickly. Just remember to keep yourselves on mute throughout the session. And if you do have any questions, use that chat box so I'll answer your questions for you. Okay. So we spent our time in the first session working through the leads part of LeadSquared. So if you remember, I said to you that LeadSquared is broken up into 3 main areas. And the first one is sales, then marketing, and then automation. Okay, so let's go back into leads, and I want to just recap for you how to use the manage lists function. This is a very, very useful feature for real estate agents, and what it does is it enables you to create very targeted databases of homeowners that you would want to reach. So if you have a look at the grid in front of you, on the left-hand side, we went and built a couple of lists together, and you'll see that I've got a list here called Northwold Buyer List 1.2 million to 1.5 million. I've also got a Linden Buyer List. So essentially, if you think about all the different databases that you as an agent have built, you know, over the time in your career, you've built up lists of people that maybe share very common interests. So maybe they are dog lovers, or, you know, horse riders, or, you know, avid golfers as an example. And then from a buyer and seller perspective, maybe you've built up lists where you've got people that are looking for sectional titles, you know, in a specific suburb, in a specific price range. So that's what the list is all about. But the problem with doing that manually is that every time you obtain a new lead, you've got to go and update all these databases that are in most cases sitting on an Excel spreadsheet. So I want to just show you again how quickly it is to, how easy it is to create a list. So if we hit this create new list button on the right-hand side of the screen, it's going to give us the ability to go and search for specific data in our database. So in this example, you can see my first option is lead activity. And what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go and look for people with a specific buying requirement. So I just searched for the word buyer, and it comes up in the search box. Then it gives me all the various buyer requirement fields I can search with. So let's say that it's important for me to have a list of people that are looking for a house where they can have pets. So if that is the option I want to search by, then what I want to do is I want to make sure that give me only the people where I've indicated that yes, they do need a property where pets are allowed, and I say add. Okay, so the moment I hit the find leads button, it's going to go into my database and go and search for all the leads where I've recorded that people absolutely will buy a house where they can have pets. So you can see at this moment in time, I've got 232 people in my database that are looking for properties where they can have pets allowed. Now, where we finished off is that I was explaining to you the difference between a static list and a dynamic list. So you always want to save your lists as a dynamic list. And the reason for this is that if you go the dynamic list option, it means that it will keep updating your database for you. So as leads are coming into your LeadSquared platform, and if they meet that criteria, in this case, the criteria is that they needed to buy a house with where it's pet friendly, they will be added to this list automatically. So that's going to save you a ton of time. Whereas if you opted to save it as a static list, you would have to go add them to that list manually. So to save it, you just hit the Save as Dynamic List. And in this case, I'm going to say pet friendly buyers as an example. And I hit the Save button and my list is now created. So once you've got a list, there's a couple of things that you might want to do. So in this case, you can see there's my list over there. At the moment, there are 232 people inside that database, which we call member counts. And as this database grows, these numbers will just refresh automatically for you. Now, what's really, really powerful is that on the far right-hand side of the screen, you've got the ability to send out a bulk email. So we call this taking a bulk action. So you can send out a bulk email to all 232 people in this database now, or you can send them an SMS campaign if you've got SMS credits, okay? So if you wanted to send an email, by hitting the send email box, button rather, let me just stop sharing this screen and show you the email. So now you should be looking at a screen that looks like an email. Now, in this case, you can see that the email already is addressed to this entire database. And just to recap, somebody asked the question in the first session is, will everybody see each other's email addresses? No, they won't. They will only see that it's been sent to them. Now, you would have created an email template, which we're going to get to just now. But when you've got your templates created, you're just going to go and select your template that you want to use from your email template library. So you don't want to be creating these things over and over again. The whole point is to save you, time, so you can focus on sales productive tasks rather. So here's the email template that I'm going to send off. At the bottom, to recap for you, you'll see that as a standard, everybody has the option to unsubscribe from your emails or update their mailing preferences. So that's really important because it is a requirement when it comes to marketing to consumers. And when you want to get this email out, you're going to hit the send button. All right, and you can see you've got the option to send yourself a test email before you send it out. You can send it immediately and you can schedule your email for later. So there's many options that are available to you when it comes to sending out bulk action communication. So let's stop sharing that email and let's go back into LeadSquared. Right. So now on the LeadSquared manage list section of the system, once again, if you want to send out a bulk SMS to these people, you need to have SMS credits. But once you hit this button, it's going to open up or launch the SMS application. And if you've got credits in your SMS wallet, essentially what it's going to allow you to do, you'll see here, it shows you how many credits you've got. And over here, you can go and type in your SMS message here. Name your campaign so that you can track the performance of every single campaign you send out. So this is my campaign for pet-friendly buyers. Type in your message. Always leave the stop to opt out. Okay, this is going to keep you guys from landing in trouble. So when you're sending an SMS out to people, if they want to opt out of your SMS communication, they can reply with the word stop. And when they do that, LeadSquared will update their opt-out status. Okay, so you make sure that you always give consumers that option. And once you're ready to send out your SMS message, you're going to hit the proceed button. Very important, at the bottom of the screen over here, when you start using merge fields. So a merge field is a way that you can go and customize or rather personalize your SMS messages. So if you want to personalize that, so let's just say that I wanted to put in, let's look for a merge field that we're going to look in over here. So let's say that I wanted my name to be in that SMS message to tell them who it's from. Then it's going to have a message and say Chantel at the end of the message. But now just bear in mind, depending on how long the actual content is in that merge field, it might mean that it would use more than one of your SMS credits, because an SMS credit only allows you, as you can see, to send out 160 characters. But at this moment in time, the merge field doesn't know how long my name is. So you might be sending out or you're using 2 of your SMS credits to send out 1 message when you start using things like merge fields. Okay, so I mean, you might want to put in call me back on my number and go and put on your mobile number. So you can customize your SMS message with absolutely everything you can imagine on this very comprehensive merge parameter drop down option. Okay, so that's how you send out bulk emails and bulk SMSs to your lists. If you want to create a new list, just remember on the right hand side, that's where you're going to do that. So that's your lists. Now, another very important feature inside the leads part of the system is what we call smart views. So we've covered manage leads, activities, tasks is pretty self-explanatory, and lists, but let's go to smart views now. So what is smart views? Smart views is really a place in LeadSquared where you can set up your work areas that you're going to use on a very regular basis. And what it means is it's going to save you time, because you're just going to go to your smart views where it's going to allow you to access accounts, leads, activities, and tasks in one place, instead of you having to go and navigate through different areas of the system. I just want to have a look at any questions. Yes, it's a very good question that you're asking. Can you add landing pages into your SMS? You absolutely can. So I'll show you how you do that when we get into the marketing module after smart views. Very good question. Okay, so if you have a look at smart views, what I've done as an agent is I've set up my work areas as follows. So these are work areas, the different tabs that I've set up. I've got a work area called new listings. Okay, now new listings means that in one place I can see all the people in my database at the moment where the status of their property is a new listing. Okay, now just to go into that, you can see there's 33 people that match this criteria at the moment of a new listing. And if I click on those details here, once again, you can see that I've selected my criteria to say that if the lead in my database is a seller, all right, and the property status is a new listing, then I want to make sure that this smart view is refreshed every day. So basically what I can see is a report of all my new listings every day in front of me in one area. And if I want to go and action a specific lead, I'm always just going to click on this hyperlink to go into the lead itself. Now, what's really important is that you'll see that I've also ticked this little box here to say subscribe to this report. So that means that every single morning I'm going to be emailed my new listing report on my mobile device. So if you tick that box, you will receive an email report sent to you every day. Okay, so that's your new listings. What you can also notice, or what you will notice, is that I've got a number of different columns in front of me. And I've opted to see the listing type, the property name, which is the complex name, the selling price, the suburb, the urgency to sell, because I'm always going to deal with my, my most urgent leads, the activity, and then the property status. If you want to go and update any of the columns, so you have the ability to go and export this data in front of you. You can go and customize your columns, and you can also go and reset all the filters and start over. So if you click on select columns, what you want to see on your smart view is absolutely possible to be personalized by you by simply just selecting what you want to see. Okay, so you would select restore default, and then you would go and select anything that you want on your list. So that's new listings. On the next tab, I've got new buyers. Now, I just want you to pay attention to the fact that every single time I move across to another tab, you'll notice that these buttons stay here. So literally, if I want to add a buyer to my database, I can do it from here. I don't have to go into leads and add it in add leads. I can literally add a new buyer straight into my smart view. And I can also add a new listing. So you've got the option to update these smart views as you're working every day. Now, on the new buyer tab, okay, so I've shown you my sellers. These are my buyers. And once again, I've customized the columns to show me how many bedrooms they're looking for, how many bathrooms, the buyer type, are they looking for a house with pets? Where do they want to buy? And then their price ranges and their property type preference. So once again, what I'm looking at here is my complete buyer database in one place. So when I log in the morning, there's absolutely no reason for me to go anywhere else except go straight to my smart views, because those are the opportunities that are sitting right at the bottom of my funnel waiting for me to close. I've also elected to create a smart view where I can see prices of properties have been reduced. I've also created a smart view for competitor stock. So competitor stock would be if you're driving down a street in a suburb that you're working in, and you see that a property is on the market, but it's being sold by another agency. So, and if you want to update that in your database, then we call that competitor stock. Now, in this particular example, I have updated for every single property being sold by another agency. I go and updated my database. Who is the agency? Who's the agent? And I go and find out when that mandate is expiring. Now, you will have a look over here that here's all the competitor stock that I've recorded. So for me, this means that if this property doesn't sell, I've got 26 opportunities to try and convert these competitor stock mandates into mandates with me. So that's why I want to stay on top of these, and I will get a reminder to make sure that I call to see if I can convert that. Okay. So these are all my competitor stock items, and you can see once again the grid is different because in this case I want to see who the listing agency is and who the listing agent is. Okay. So once again, that's competitor stock. And when you get to upcoming mandate expiries, this is where I've gone and set up, on what day the mandates actually expires, so I can actually make that phone call or take action on that today. So you'll see once again, if I click on details, there's nothing that's available in my work area today. That's what says 0. But if I hit this option over here, you'll see it says here, activity of the lead as a seller, where the lead is a property and the mandate expiry is in this month. Then I wanted to populate this information here. You'll see I haven't set up to send myself the report, but if I do, I'm going to get a report sent to me every day. Okay. So that's how you work with smart views. I've also set up a few more. So birthdays. So if I want to see all the birthdays that are happening today in my database, this is where I'm going to go and get that information. Okay, so then the next one, if I move across over here, is, so I'm just waiting for my internet, guys. Apologies for that. Okay, so you'll see on today's birthdays, I've got 5. And over here, you can see these are all the people that have got birthdays. Once again, I can customize the columns. And if I want to go into any one of these lead records, I would just click on one of the buttons. Or I can take a bulk action and send them an email from here as well. Okay, so that's smart views. I would always encourage you to set up your tasks, or what we call, I call it my to-dos, but things like doing follow-up calls, or meetings or proposals you need to get out. I always encourage people to put their to-dos for today in your smart views, so that you make sure that by the end of your working day, if you had 5 important tasks to do, that you tick them off. Because in sales need activities to happen in order for you to move people down a funnel. So you don't want to leave anything uncompleted when it comes to your daily tasks, because what that will result in is you setting yourself up to miss opportunities to close deals. Okay, so that's your smart views. Right, let me just have a look at some questions quickly. I'm going to deal with the landing pages just now, guys, when we get to marketing. Can you put in mandate info for competitor stock? Yes, you absolutely can. Okay, so if you're wanting to go to back to competitor stock, and you wanted to go and update something for an existing mandate with another agency, you can click on the lead here, or you can go and add it over here. But if I click on a lead, just to show you what that looks like, remember when in this first session, I showed you how you go and update the buyer requirements and the seller requirements under activity. So when you hit this activity button and you go and select buyer requirements or seller requirements, all the relevant fields will pop up here for you, and that's where you go and update the information. It doesn't matter where you update it from in the system, it will sync across to your mobile app, etc. Okay. Is there a way to automatically pull the birthday data over from the buyers and sellers so you can set SMS for birthdays? Yes, you can. That's what we're going to deal with in automations. Okay. And can you add an image to an SMS? No, you can't add an image to an SMS, but you can put a link to your landing page, which is what you always want to do in SMS, is include a call to action. Okay. So guys, that's smart views. You guys are asking me a lot of questions about marketing. I know you're excited. Just hang 10. Okay. So now we've dealt with leads. I'm going to move on to marketing. So what you're looking at, first of all, is on the content part of your menu bar. There's two things here. One is email library and one is images and documents. So when it comes to images and documents, I just want to make sure you understand what these things are all for. If you are using, let me call it, let's say that you've got sales brochures, so something that you would give to a potential buyer, something you would give to a potential seller, documentation or sales collateral that you use over and over and over again. What you're going to want to do is go into your images and documents, okay? And if it is a document, you're going to want to click on documents and upload the documentation that you use over and over again. In this example, you can see I've uploaded the LeadSquared subscriber agreement. So obviously in our business, you can imagine we use that all day, every day, but I don't want to be uploading it every single time to an email. It's something that I just want to be added automatically. So in this case, if you want to upload a file, you hit this upload file button. You can see you've got an upload button here. So once you click on that, it's going to open up your computer, files on your computer, and you're going to go and select the file that you want to upload. So let's select that one. You can see it will upload it. Once you've uploaded it, it's now available for you to use on an ongoing basis. The same thing for images. So if you guys have, let me call it like a banner that you always put on the top of your email, or a logo that you're going to use over and over again, then go and upload those images, doing it exactly the same way so that everything's in one place. So if I go up to pictures as an example, and I go and upload this particular picture, you'll see it goes and uploads it, and now it's in my library and I can use this over and over again. So you can also see at this moment in time that there's a few pictures of properties. So when you guys if you get a new listing and you want to create a landing page or an emailer for a particular property, you're going to have to upload those images so that you can create your emailer or your landing page. To answer your question, can you create folders? You can see over here, you've got the ability to manage folders. So you can create your own folders, so you can have one for property, images, sales collateral. Yes, you absolutely can manage your folders over here. Add folders. So yes, good question. So that's how you get your images and documents into LeadSquared. When it comes to your email library, this is where you're going to go and create your email templates that you use over and over again. So some examples would be a just listed template. Okay, the only thing that changes is the actual images, which you will update as and when you get new listings. Things like just sold, your newsletters, happy birthdays, those are templates that you're going to want to create once, and once they set up, you can use them over and over again. So if you want to add a template, you will notice, first of all, that there are many templates that are already available for you to just repurpose. But if you click over here and hit add email template, let's go and create just a quick email template together. If you want to do a straight up text email, you're always just going to select this rich text editor or plain text editor. So text means, is, as you can see, it's plain text, no images, and you can't format any text. But my personal favorite is the Visual Designer, because it just makes sure that your email is really responsive and it gives customers a great experience. So if you click on Visual Designer, and I just want to make you guys, just give you guys some comfort here, is that I cannot design images. I'm not technical in that regard. I can't code. So I use this template builder because it's what you call a drag and drop template builder. So what do I mean by drag and drop? This is what my canvas looks like, right? So if I can imagine that I want to do a birthday email and I want to put like a really nice birthday image in the middle of my email, I'm going to drag this widget that says image. Okay, and I'm going to drag it with my mouse and go and place it where I want to on my email. Let it go, and straight away you can see I've made a place for the image that I want to put in here. If I want to put more text at the bottom of that, I'll drag the text section, put it in here. Okay, now what I want to just show you from the top, when we deal with the name, this is the name that you are giving your email templates, that when you're looking for it in the future, you can identify it. So I'm going to call it my happy birthday template. The subject line is what the consumer is going to see, the person that you're sending it to. So happy birthday from Banana Property. Okay, so this would be something that you're going to create. You guys already use subject lines all the time, but make sure that you type in your subject line over here. Now, the next part of the email template is we want to start making it look good. So I'm going to go and browse. I'm going to put my logo at the top of this email. So I'm going to hit this browse button. And you can see I've got my images and documents. I'm just going to click on my images folder. So let's go and look for my Dracor logo. There it is over there. I'm going to say insert. Can you see it's placed my logo there? The next thing I want to do is I'm going to go and put in a nice picture for, for a birthday. So I'm going to say browse, and I'm going to go back because I've already uploaded all my images that I'm going to use. Let's see if I have something for birthday. Okay. So there's my birthday picture. So now what I'm going to do is I want to go and, sort out the text over here. So when we get to the text here, I just highlight it, or I can delete it if I want to, but I just type over it. So I just need to say, dear, and we'll come back because I want to personalize it. I wanted to wish you a happy birthday. So I'm just going to delete this that I don't need. Now take a look at this. It's really important that you personalize every communication that you send out. And how do you do that? Well, we've got something called merge tags. So we'll talk about merge tags quite a lot in LeadSquared. And when I click on merge tags, you'll see at the top of the screen, I can scroll down. There's so many ways I can customize and personalize my email. But in this case, I'm looking for something that says lead name, because I want to say dear and whatever the person's name is. So lead, there we go, lead first name. Once I do this, every single time I use this birthday template, the system will automatically go and fetch the person's first name from the V card in Leads, add it to this email template, and it will personalize the email. I'm going to delete this part of the email, and then at the bottom, I'm just going to say, this is your special day. Just giving you an example. And if I want to go back and add more widgets to this, I just click on content. Okay, now what I really wanted to show you over here quickly is, do you see there's a widget here called button? Button is what we call in marketing a call to action. I encourage you to get into the habit of making sure that every email you send out, all right, and every SMS you send out, and every Facebook post that you put up has a call to action in it. If you don't use call to actions, you are missing major opportunities to get people into your funnel. Okay, so let me show you what you would do here. Let's say that if it was somebody's birthday, you offered them, I don't know, a coffee date with you, and you were going to pick up the coffee bill. Okay, so in that case, let's just say that this was my landing page that I've created that had, you know, the form where they could fill in to say they want to come and have coffee with me. Do you see over here that there, I've just typed in LeadSquared.coza. This is our website. We call this a URL. So I'm going to copy this URL, okay, and I'm going back to my email template. Now on this button, okay, you'll see when I click on it, it opens up a little bar here where I can go and paste that URL. So when somebody gets my email, clicks on this button, they will be directed to go to this website, because that's where I want to take them to so they can get the full experience and take action and get into my funnel. Now on the button itself, you want to just double click on it so that you can change the call to action. So I can't leave it as buttons. So I'm going to say, book your coffee date with me. And most of you that have seen my emails that I share with you, there is never a time where I send out an email that does not have a call to action on it. I use buttons, all right, and you also have the ability to use what we call links. So that's how you set up your call to action using a button. If you want to do a link, then what you would do is this. So let's just say I didn't do a button, but I said, book your coffee date with me now. So then what I would do is say, highlight these words over here, and I would click on link, and I just go and put my URL. Once again, the same URL that we used. I go and put it in here, okay? And I can just go and type and say, this is my coffee date URL. Why do I want to do that? Because LeadSquared gives you statistics right down to every single link where you can see what are consumers engaging with, what are they clicking on. So if they're not clicking to book a coffee date with you, then you're not going to do any more of that because we know it's not working. Okay. If you want to have a link where, let's say somebody is a buyer and they want to get a free valuation. And in that case, you send them, every time you would give them the same document, like a PDF brochure. You also have the option to say, click here and we will give you a file. So a file means that when somebody clicks on that link or that button, I'm going to give them the opportunity to go and download an actual document or picture, or whatever I want to share with them. Okay, so that is how, let's just select this one over here and say, okay. So this is how you can build your email templates. Let me just have a look at some of your questions you're asking. Give me a second. Will you have to do this every year, or would a person be able to set an auto send for every year to send the? Yes, so an automation, which we'll get to now, you'd only have to set it up once. It will take care of it for you every single year. That's the beauty of automations. Then the next one is we've got our own designer. Okay, so where you guys have got marketing teams or people that design, what you need to remember that you would have to give your marketing person a LeadSquared profile where they can go and actually do the designs in their profile, and those will then be available for the rest of your team to see. Okay, but remember, they have to have access to LeadSquared in order to do that. So yes, the answer is yes to that. Then, are there pop-ups to get feedback from email recipients using the button? I'm not quite sure what that is, what you're asking me, but I think I have an idea. If you want to get people to send you an email, when you go to link over here, instead of selecting URL or file manager, you'd select email. So this is where they can send you an email. So I think that's what you're asking me. Okay, so the answer, I'm going to say yes. If you want to upload your own designs from Canva, yes, you absolutely can. So once again, you're going to go to content, images and documents, and upload. For those of you who don't know what Canva is, it's a design, let me call it a software platform where you can go and design Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, brochures, presentations. It's a really powerful piece of software. We use it extensively. For those of you who want to take it down, I'll put it in the chat box. There it is over there. They've got various packages, but you can go and do all your own designs. So it's for people that don't have any design experience. Essentially, you can go and do your designs there. Okay, so let me just send that to all of you, and then you can take that link down. But yes, you can use Canva. Right, so back to the email. We've done our email now. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the save button. Okay, now it's been updated, all right? And what I want to do is I'm going to try and hit the save and publish button. Okay, so it's been published and I'm pretty much done. So if I go back to my email library, I want to just show you that your template is going to be available for you here. So I published it today. If you ever want to edit it, you're going to edit it over here. If you want to preview it or delete it, these are your actions here. Okay. So if you want to edit your template or view your email and update it, you're going to do it over here. But now it's ready for us to use. So let's head off to marketing. Okay. So we're going to click on email campaigns. Now, an email campaign, just to put this into perspective for you, is where you're going to go and send a specific emailer, okay, to a database that you're going to select. So on email campaigns, what you want to do is to start a new campaign, you're going to hit this create email campaign button over here. Now, the first thing that's going to come up is it's going to show you all your templates that you've created. Do you see that? Okay, we've just created this one together. So I'm going to use this one. So once again, you always go and put in your email campaign name, because when you start looking at the marketing reporting that LeadSquared gives you, you want to be able to see exactly how your just listed email campaign is performing for number 4 Blue Street as an example. If you just leave it as email campaign 03, you're not going to remember you know what campaign it was about. So I'm going to say this is a happy birthday campaign. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my category. So is it a newsletter? Is it a promotional email? So I'll just say newsletter in this case, but you don't have to select that. So I've already selected my template. If I click here, it would move the little green tick here. So make sure that you're always selecting the right template. Okay. Then the next thing you're going to do is hit the next button. So it's preparing the email for a send. Now, very importantly, just remember, make sure that you're sending the email from the right person. Now, I've got administrator rights in my profile, so I can send the email from anybody in my company. But if you are an individual user, as an example, then your name will be in this box. So I'm going to send this from myself. And you can see I've got the opportunity to go and make any last minute edits to this email over here if I want to. But now I'm going to say next. The system then tells me I have to send myself a test email to review before I can actually send this out to customers. So it's just a double check. So how do you do that? Well, you hit this test content button. Okay, put in your email address, send it to yourself. If you want to preview what it looks like before sending, you're just going to hit this preview button. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit next because I've done my test. And now what LeadSquared is going to do is start asking me, well, now you need to tell us who do you want this email to be sent to? So all your lists that we created earlier, Can you see here's all my lists? There's the Linden buyer list. All those lists are available. There's the pet friendly list. So all of those pull through. But if you don't want to send it to one of your lists and you want to create a recipient list, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this list now. And let's go have a look at what options we have. So I'm going to say, if somebody's got a birthday today and it is a yes, then add that, find my leads. Okay, wait, we just wait for it to load. These are all the people that have got birthdays today. And I'm going to save this list, say birthdays today, press save. And now what's going to happen is I just need to go and select my list that I've just created. So birthdays today. And I'm going to hit the next button. So I've created a list of where I want this emailer to go. It's going to give me the opportunity now to review my campaign last time before it goes out. So here you can see that's the name of my campaign. It's going to be sent from me. It's going to 2 people. Okay, and it's just going to show me the emailer down here as well with the text version. And here you're going to send yourself one last test. Press send. And then the last step we use to schedule your campaign. So scheduling your campaign, if I hit the next button, the only option I've got is to send it immediately or schedule it for in the future. Now, this is a birthday email, so I might want to schedule it to say that send it today, but I only want to send it out at 1:09 as an example. Or if you want to change the time to 2 o'clock, you can do that as well. And once you hit the schedule button, that's it, your campaign is out and it's gone. Now, I'm not going to send it out because it's got real people's email addresses linked to that campaign. But that is how you create your email campaign. So I think pretty straightforward, but is there any questions that I can answer on email campaigns while we're here? Anybody? With the button, can you get... Neil, you're going to have to ask me that question again because it cuts off. So I don't know what the rest of your sentence is. Okay, right. So let's move on now from email campaigns and go on to landing pages. Okay, so on landing pages, a landing page is basically a mini website, if I could explain it like that. Okay, so when it comes to landing pages are used primarily for lead generation. And what you will notice is that I'm going to hit this create landing page button over here. And you will notice that if you look at some of the pre-created templates that we have, so here's a couple that are already pre-created for you. The one thing that you'll notice across all of them is that there is a form. Okay, it's a box with fields in it that people can complete. So the reason why we use forms on landing pages is because they're used for lead generation. So when you're sending out an email, as an example, offering people a free valuation, you need to have a call to action on it and not rely on somebody to reply to that email, because that's where your lead leakage happens and leads get lost. So in other words, if you were to send out an email like we've just done, and I put a button on that email, once a consumer clicks on that button, you want them to be directed to one of these landing pages that you create, okay? And once they get to this landing page, they will have the opportunity to click on your, or fill in this form rather, and that is how they get into your funnel, okay? So you can use any one of these templates to create your landing pages, or you can design it yourself. Once again, you can use Canva to do your imagery, ask your marketing team to set them up for you. But once again, if I go and click on any one of these, so let's say select this one. Just want to show you what that looks like quickly. So it brings up this template for you. And yes, this is not your branding or anything right here. But as you can see, all a template does is it provides you with what we call placeholders. So it's telling you that you can go and put your logo here. You can change the background image. You can go and customize the headline of your form. You know, so it's giving you a guideline of how to set out your different landing pages. Okay, and obviously people that have built landing pages before understand the components of a landing page. You can see that this landing page is to do with holiday packages. Okay, and it's set out in a specific way because consumers read content in a specific way. But once you've created your landing page, you literally hit the publish button over here. Now, on the 5th and 6th of May, we will be hosting 2 sessions, so you can join either one of them, where we actually go and show you how to design landing pages from scratch. So blank landing pages from scratch, and show you how to do that yourself. So if you haven't registered for those, then please register. But I'm just going to go back into landing pages quickly. What I want to show you is that once you've got all your landing pages set up, you will see that over here it will show you all the names of your different landing pages. And straight away, it will also show you how many people have viewed your landing page. So in this case over here, 35 people have viewed my landing page for 14 Apple Street. I've had 21 people fill in the form. So I've got a 60% conversion rate. Now, what is it that people are actually seeing? Well, if you see, if I hover over this button over here, so let's just go down a bit, it will give me the landing page URL. So let's get that landing page URL quickly, and let's click on that. So what are you looking at over here? This is a landing page that I've created just, you know, in this demo account. So when somebody gets to this landing page and they fill in their details, so I'm going to send this to you guys. I've sent it to you on the chat box. If you guys click on that link now and go and fill in this form, your information is automatically going to be updated into my leads part of LeadSquared. And once you fill in that information, this is where automations come in. And that's where you want to make sure that you respond to every single lead on time and virtually immediately. So before I leave this, let me just make sure I can answer questions quickly. Okay, can you limit the number of emails people send? So remember, every plan in LeadSquared comes with its different plan limits. So if you've got, you know, module 3 as an example, you would get access to, let's call it 1 million email credits a month. If you are on the migration plan, you've got to buy credits, so you can send out as many as you buy. And if you're on, you know, module 2 as an example, I think you can send out 500,000 emails a month. So it depends on what plan you're on and how many credits are available in that plan. So the answer would be different for everyone. But if you've got the credits, you can send the emails. Okay, then you use birthdays as an example, but obviously, yes, yes, Mark, that's a great question you raised. I did use birthdays as an example, but it's automated, and I'm going to show you how you automate that now. Okay, so when it comes to sending out emails per user, if you want to limit that or change permissions, inside LeadSquared, we've got something here called settings. So the administrator would have the option to go and customize or set up permissions. And what you can do with permissions, again, is dependent on what plan you're on. So when you get to settings over here, this is like the engine room of LeadSquared, where you can go and set up all your rules. So you'll see that over here where we get to users and permissions, whoever the administrator is of the system will be able to set up users and set up permissions, etc. So all of that is possible for you, but you do it inside the settings part of LeadSquared. So over here, settings and user permissions and permission templates. Okay, just remember, it always depends what plan you're on. So let's go back. We've done marketing. I'm going to come over to workflow now, to automation. So when we get to automation, I'm going to click on that over here. And just waiting for the internet. Okay, there we go. These are all the automations that I've got set up. Let me give you, so 2 easy examples of what an automation is. One is a birthday. So in other words, if somebody in your database has got a birthday today, you would want LeadSquared to just automatically send out a happy birthday email on your behalf. Okay, so that's an example of an automation. Another example is, let's say somebody came onto your landing page or your website and they filled in a form. You would want to set up a response email that gets sent to them immediately that can start pre-qualifying them for you even further. So let's show you how that works. On automation, you say create automation over here. Now, you will see that we've created a number of automation templates for you already. But when you start working with automations, you're going to start wanting to build your own. It really becomes quite addictive, to be honest with you. But using automations, you'll see over here, right at the bottom of the screen, you've got birthday wishes. So, I mean, if you click on that, and you see it says here, on a specific date, notify by sending out an email. So here I'm going to say, you can see, update a user. It basically guides you on exactly what you need to do here. But I'm going to build it from scratch. Let me show you how I do that quickly. So we say create an automation. So let's do the birthday one first. Okay, so I'm going to say build from scratch. So I'm going to say when a lead, okay, so on a specific date such as a birthday or renewal. So I'm going to click that one. So I'm going to say, when a lead has got a birthday, okay, on the day of the event, then I want to repeat this annually. Do you see that answers somebody's question that they asked earlier? Okay, so on the day of the event, and I'm going to change it to, I'm going to say send it to them at 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, save. Then what's the next thing I want to do? I want to send them an email. So I'm going to say send them an email. Search my templates. There's my templates. Use that one. And that is my automation done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this is my happy birthday automation. Saved. And to make it live, you're going to hit publish. So that's pretty much how you set up a birthday automation. And it's going to repeat until such time as I switch it off. So if I want to switch my journey off, okay, you need to go and unpublish it. So this will run until you unpublish it. Okay, so if you want to create a journey now for somebody that fills in a form on a particular landing page or website, let's do that. Create automation. Guys, any questions on that birthday automation I just published? Sorry, here's my internet again. Any questions? Okay. Right, so now we're going to go and do an automation. What I want to do is I can either use a predefined automation here. So after a lead submits an inquiry on my website, use this template to follow up with the prospect until he registers an inbound activity. Okay. I want to go and build it from scratch again. I just want to show you this so you can actually see the steps. So when a new lead is created or added, okay, and I'm going to say add my conditions here. So this box will look familiar to you again. It's going to look like the box looked when we did the advanced search. When lead goes to one of my landing pages and they submit a form, okay, on a specific website, but not just any landing page. When they specifically fill in the form for let's say this landing page, okay, then I want to send them a very specific email. Okay, so I'm going to say set criteria, and I'm going to say save. Then when I do that, I want to send them an email immediately with more information about that specific property. So I've already got a just listed template here that I've updated before building this automation. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, then I'm going to see if they, let's go and have a look here quickly, if they open the email. So when they open the email, then I'm going to say, send them another email, okay, asking them, have they been pre-qualified for finance or something like that. So let's just go and select one more template, okay. So just to recap, what I'm doing here is when somebody fills in a form on my landing page, they've said they're interested in a specific property, I'm going to send them an email with more information. Then if they open that email, I'm going to send them a further email because I'm now going to ask them questions like, have you got finance in place, etc. But if they don't open that email, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an automation to say to myself, notify me as the salesperson to please call this lead, and I'm going to hit save. So once I've done this, I'm going to say that this automation is for number 14 Northwold Street. Buyer through and move them down my funnel and make sure that I can respond to every inquiry automatically and in real time. Doesn't matter if the person is on my website at 2 a.m. in the morning. Once I press publish, this automation is going to work. Okay. So that is basically how automations work. And like I said, you can see there are many automations you can work with. We automate absolutely everything in our business. And our automations become very complex. But like I said, if you start off by using the automation templates, then just read through what's available on the drop down for you. And I just want to give you an example. If you click on a pre-created template, so if I didn't want to go and build that last automation we did from scratch, and I clicked on the template, you click on that, you see there it gives you the template. All you need to do is go and edit each step and say which email must I send, which SMS must I send, what action do you want LeadSquared to do for you. Okay, so that's automations. Let's answer some questions quickly. On a call to action where the information is inputted, where's the information saved? I guess you're asking me. So has anybody filled in that form? Okay, so if I go to leads over here, when people fill in your forms that are on your landing pages, etc., all your leads come into manage leads, and they come in real time. So these are all the leads that are coming into the system over here. So some of you have filled this information in, okay, and there's all the information coming in now. So as they fill it in, it automatically comes into the system. So if we just go and click on this one as an example, what I just want to quickly show you is that LeadSquared will also update all the activity that this particular lead has taken and engaged with your content. So let's have a look at that quickly. Right. Just waiting for the activity to load, just internet. Right, so you can see this person on the 30th of April viewed this landing page for 1 minute and 12 seconds. Okay, they viewed this landing page as well and they submitted this form. That's what they filled in on the website. And that is how this lead has been created. So I had nothing to do with it. This person received or clicked on the URL that I shared with you in this group box and basically updates here. Okay, then next question. On marketing, can you show us how to customize an article from the web? I really don't understand that question. Maybe you can reach out to me after the session and I can help you. Sorry about that. Will I be able to set up that my assistant and myself to receive the notifications to one user? Yes, you can, but it would only be on email and not on the actual application itself. Okay, so the answer is yes. Will admin receive leads and notifications to ensure follow-ups have been actioned? Guys, that is how you customize LeadSquared. So what I'm showing you is out of the box. when you build your automations and you want to have your admin people getting notifications and you want it to happen in 3 hours, that's how you personalize and customize your automations. So whatever you want to happen in your automation is possible, but you need to go and set that up. We don't give you out of the box, one size fits all, because every single one of your businesses have different processes and different ways of how you deal with leads and tasks and processes, etc. Okay, so the next thing I just want to finish off with quickly is that on email campaigns and landing pages, just want you to make sure that you know where you can go and have a look at your actual marketing metrics. When you send out a campaign, it's going to show you exactly how many people received your email. It's going to show you reporting. And when you click on the actual template itself, sorry, the actual email campaign itself, if you click on it, it's going to open up very detailed email statistics for you, where it will show you exactly how many people received your email, how many people opened it, clicked on it, didn't take action. It will show you your top performing links. And at the bottom, it will show you exactly who is getting your, who's opened it, which ones have bounced, and then you can take bulk action. So you can actually now go and do 3 other segmented campaigns off the back of your email results. So very, very powerful marketing reporting. So today we've covered the marketing part of the system, showing you how to take bulk actions on your lists. We've worked on smart views, and showing you how to work with content, and we've covered automation. The next thing that I want to share with you on our next session is going to be working through the app marketplace. We're going to work on reports, and I'm going to show you how to use the mobile CRM. So for those of you already using LeadSquared and have got your login details, please go and download the LeadSquared mobile sales app from the Apple Store or the Android Store, so that you guys can play around with it and start logging in to the mobile app. Okay, so this is questions. When will I be able to access LeadSquared? Guys, I can't answer that question for you on this session. You're going to have to reach out to us, individually, because I don't know which group you're part of, as an example. So in that instance, please just email this email address that I'm popping in the chat box, sales@leadsquared.co.za. Okay. It's a question around how does it manage 2 people in a partnership? Guys, the bottom line is that LeadSquared is a per user product. So if you've got 2 people, both of you need a LeadSquared profile. And then once again, when it comes to setting up your automations and how you work with each other, that's what you're going to customize inside LeadSquared. Okay. And then last thing, okay, I understand your question now. If you have, it's actually a very good question. If you've got a news article that you want to share with your clients, so let's say something about interest rates have dropped, and you've got a URL to that article. So all you're going to do is, remember, on your email template, you're going to use a button, and you can, behind that button, you will put the URL to wherever that article is, right? Or you can just use a link. So when somebody gets your email, they can click on that link and it'll direct them to the article. Okay, so that's your questions answered then. Right, guys, I hope that we've reached the end of our session today. I hope that's simplified things for you a little bit further. If there's any one of you that want to reach out, to me after this, please, you guys have got my email address. You can phone me, email me. Here's my details if you don't have it. I will get the recordings to you. They're very big, so just give me some time. I'll only get the recordings to you for part 1 and part 2 probably tomorrow morning, and then we'll do a wrap up with the mobile app. Okay, so that's it from me, guys. I'm going to stop recording now.